Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Former NFL player like the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Bills, has a TED Talk, letting go of emotional baggage. The Athletes Roundtable he began to form, Shamil Gary envisioned a platform that could greatly benefit the success of future athletes to maximize their success both on and off the field, and he is here with us today. Welcome, Shamil, from my heart to yours. I'm so glad you are here.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
You guys have a lot of energy, Well,
Shamil, I'm imagining that as an NFL football player, you got some energy too, my friend. So awesome job. Shamil, when you come out of the locker room, do you come out like sort of like slow, kind of walking? Like, what is like coming onto the field out of the locker room like for you?
Coming out of the locker room is a locked in, methodical, killer instinct type of walk for me. You know, I learned that I can't be too high and I can't be too low, so I have to be right in the middle when I'm walking out of the locker room.
Yeah, and that's like Gina Ricci and Bella Verita when they start selling stuff. So like, you're in the right space. Awesome. So what's your fun fact, my friend?
Fun fact. I have 3, but let's go. I'll share them all. Fun fact number 1
you can share them all.
Okay, here we go. Fun fact number 1 is I love anime. I'm an anime fiend. And fun fact number 2, I'm afraid of all insects. Daddy long legs, roaches, ants. I'm afraid of them all. And then fun fact number 3 is I'm a father. I have 2 children, and one of them look just like me, and she's just a better looking version of me.
And how old are your children?
7 and 10 months.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I just want to know what happens if you see an insect. Like, do you jump on your chair like a girl, or like what happens?
Yes. It's a quick story. I'm afraid of rodents as well. It's just amphibians. I'm afraid of all animals, really, to be honest with you. But I was on Instagram Live a year ago, and I'm doing my little speech, and all of a sudden, so my last house that I was in, we had a little mice problem, and all of a sudden a mice runs out, and I scream, I throw my phone in the air, and I run into the other room. And I finally come back. I muster up enough courage to come back, and I grab the phone, and all I see down the feed is like, what happened to him? And so I will scream and jump on it. I'm not about mice or insects or anything like that. That's not me.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You would definitely. Quick question. Switching over because we had some tech challenges, but we're hearing good now. So, final question is: how do you feel about sharks?
Sharks. I just watched a Netflix documentary called Seaspiracy, something like that. And I actually have a little more love for sharks now.
Yes.
I wouldn't get in the water with them, but I have love for them. I think they're an important species in the ocean.
Yes. So my fun fact is I've been in the water with 100 sharks at one time, at least 7 times in my life. And I was bumped by a shark while surfing in the last 4 months. So we're going to hang out and we're going to like cover fears and deal with stuff. So what would it look like to be surfing with like spiders on your back and sharks are surrounding you? Like I can feel that energy. You ready for it?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't know if I can do that. I'm all about facing fear. Like we're right there. Like we see each other, but I don't know about that one.
Well, super appreciate you being here today. It's an honor.
Oh, for sure. Thank you for having me. I love your background too, as well.
Appreciate it. Big fan of
a little bit of a sports fan too.
Yeah. So I listen, I didn't get there, and I'm not saying I ever would have been an MLB player, but I was a Division I player in college, captain of my team, 4-year starter at Columbia University, and I am blind now. But I was going to get drafted. I would have been a minor league player. I started having, certain challenges. So I, again, don't think I would have been an MLB player, but at one point in college, I was top 10 hitters, Division I in the country. So, from somebody with not your athletic background, I was a football player in high school, D1 recruit there too. It's an honor to have you here. And we understand what mastery is about, and to achieve the level of mastery that you have to achieve to be one of just hundreds, not even thousands of people at a time to play in a professional sports league like the NFL. It's an extraordinary achievement. So it's an honor.
Oh, thank you. It's definitely honors. That's your story is cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm like speechless now. That's really cool. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. So Gina, we got some, it's an amazing day already, but we got more amazing people.
Yes. Next we have Calvin Vitalis, founder of a VIP concierge car buying services, car flipping guru, 25 years of experience in the industry. And he's here with us today. He's got all kinds of strategies. Welcome, Calvin Vitalis.
Welcome. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you. A lot of energy going around in this room. I got to bring it up. We're talking sports. We're talking having a good time. Appreciate you guys having me here.
Well, thank you. And we're hallucinating, Calvin, that you have to have at least something to say about the superpower of influence, because somehow I think you have that superpower. Am I correct, my friend?
I'm here. Yes, sir. I believe in influence. It's very important.
I think influence has been very, very good to you, Calvin, in your life. And how about, what's your fun fact?
My fun fact, it's a big question, but my kind of cool fun fact is I drive a lot of Teslas. So when I first got my autopilot Tesla, I put it on autopilot on the highway and I jumped in the passenger seat and tried to take a video to post online. And it didn't work. The car started to slow down and shake like this. I was like, I'm going to crash. I'm going to kill myself on video. I was going crazy.
Oh my God. We got a wild bunch, Sean.
This is multiverse.
Welcome to the multiverse of Unblinded. So Calvin, thank you so much for being here. And we got some judges to roll with these amazing participants. Gina, who do we have?
We have Alex Carana, started his own firm straight out of law school 2 months ago. Chemical engineering degree and the automotive industry as well background. So welcome, Alex. So glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. This is definitely the most exciting Zoom session I've been on. So
well, Alex, thanks for being
here. I love the energy. I haven't been around people like you in a minute, so it's been great to hear the energy.
And by the
Thanks
way,
for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for your entrepreneurial journey. I quit my dream job at a law firm 6 months out of law school and started my own firm.
24 years ago, which was the scariest thing I ever did. I want to quit every single day for a year. So congratulations on what you're doing. And I built a 40-person law firm in a little over 2 years. And it was life-changing for me. I couldn't believe it. As I shared earlier, I knew I was going blind. I knew I had a timer ticking on what was going to go on in life. What caused you to take that leap into entrepreneurship?
Well, a little bit background, my family, I'm a first generation American. My family owns small businesses. So I've always had that entrepreneurial kind of spirit. The first lawyer in my family, and I've always just wanted to have my own law firm, but I never thought I'd have it this quickly. But with the COVID pandemic and opportunities that have dwindled, I plan on opening up my law firm, and here I am. So just fighting it every day, I guess. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There, yeah, for sure. And what's your fun fact?
My heritage is probably the coolest one. I'm Chaldean Assyrian. It's, we're the indigenous people of Mesopotamia, and a lot of people don't know us. We've immigrated over the last 20, 30 years to the Detroit area and Chicago area, and we speak Aramaic at home. We're one of the oldest heritages in the world.
Wow. Well, very cool, man. Congratulations on the journey and what you're doing. It takes an amazing amount of facing one's fears, which is courage, after all, to start your own firm that young and that fresh out of law school. So awesome job. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Gina, lots going on today. Who else we have to roll with Alex as a judge?
Next up, Ohio attorney for just over 5 years, criminal, civil matters, Mark Dvorak, here with us today. So glad you're here. Welcome, Mark.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, Mark, thank you so much for being here today. And what is your fun fact, Mark?
One thing you guys wouldn't necessarily know about me is I love participating in masterminds. I've started them. I've been a part of other people's masterminds. And I kind of got started in that through my real estate investing. And so I really like to be able to, communicate with small groups and, create some real connections that aren't very superficial like you get with a lot of different experiences.
Oh, that's awesome. And again, super appreciate being here. In your real estate investing journey or masterminding journeys, have you ever heard of Robert Allen, the guy that wrote Nothing Down, that kind of started the whole movement of no money down for real estate investing, or no?
I have not, no.
Okay. So we were speaking this weekend at a real estate investment conference in Key West. And another fun fact for the show is we raised $700,000 for charity. I'm on the board of the American Foundation for the Blind, and there was another visually impaired surgical charity for surgeries in third world countries. And it was a whole bunch of amazing legends in the space of real estate and real estate investing, including Robert Allen. And they gave me the opportunity to be the person raising the money on the microphone. And when you said real estate investing, it made me think about the space. So how did you enter into that world of real estate investing?
Well, I guess I was born into a real estate family. We've got a bunch of agents, but also I was handed a paintbrush when I was 8 years old, help us paint the house, go and work after hours with my parents. And my dad was a bricklayer too, so I was always helping out with different things. And I didn't have a choice. I was going to be a real estate investor no matter what.
Well, it sounds like it's serving you well.
It is, yes. and congrats on raising that much money for charity. That's an amazing accomplishment.
Oh, thank you. It's what we unpack in the formula today, and that's what we're playing with. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gina.
Next, we have, this man's goal is to be the best trial attorney in the United States and leave that legacy for his future family. His father built a life for his family out of raw materials, and he has eyes on the future and his legacy. He's leading. Shaheen Wallace, great energy. Glad you're here today. Welcome, Shaheen.
Glad to be here. How's everybody doing?
Shaheen, how are you? We're doing wonderfully. I love the ambition. I love the outcome, the legacy piece. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a beautiful day here in Pittsburgh, which we don't get many of them until the summertime. So it's a good day. I'm fully vaccinated, just trying to do the right thing all around. Awesome. And I'm sitting here in my office. I was actually writing a demand letter before this got started. So that's what had my attention for a little bit. So Yeah.
Yeah. And Shaheen, so what is present for you with the outcome of being America's top trial attorney? Like, what's there for you about that? What's driving that?
Man, so what's driving it? One, I just want to be the best. Almost, I'm a trial lawyer, so it's a little bit of an ego thing, right? But also, I think it's important that trials continue, right? America has one of the best, legal systems in the world. That we have disputes that are tried before a jury, whether they be civil or criminal. I'm a personal injury attorney, and there are fewer and fewer trials being tried. As you know, Sean, as a former trial lawyer. And I don't want us to lose that. I don't want everything to become an arbitration or a mediation. Sometimes you got to fight it out in court, because it's all of the really, really important decisions that are made in the United States are not made by congressmen. They're not made by the president. They're made by trial lawyers, right? Even the fact that I can be an attorney in this country was because of trial lawyers. The fact that I could go to school with folks that don't look like me, Brown v. Board of trial lawyers, right? The fact that, people can find redress after being poisoned by cigarettes or poisoned by pharmaceutical companies. It's not because somebody felt good one day and was like, you know what, I'm going to stop poisoning people. It's because of trial lawyers, right? The big decisions that happen are because, it sounds cheesy, and it sounds almost like, almost self-aggrandizing, but trial lawyers at the end of the day sometimes are the last line of defense. We're watching, important trials going on right now in the country, right? Justice is going to be determined by how good either a prosecutor or a defense attorney does their job in front of a jury. It's really not just about one man's freedom, but it implicates the entire justice system in America, and that's why I want to do why I want to be the best at this. I don't want to be a mediocre trial lawyer.
Love your energy, love your congruence, your skill set. And I feel inspired to share, if that's okay, that I'm one of only 2 attorneys in America out of 1.2 million between 2014 and 16 that were in the top 100 national jury verdicts twice, me and a guy from California. And I was the only one that was blind. And my blindness was not the story. And these were complex cases in business breakups, $50 million company, not giant corporate America, where my client came to the office one day and his office was gone. He was choked, thrown across the room. And it was all designed to cover up Medicaid fraud. And I had to put the inspector general of the state of Arizona. There was corruption all the way through the Arizona government, including folks that were lobbying and all sorts of things. So I couldn't agree more, my friend. And what was at stake in that trial was everything I believed in the justice system. And it took us 5 years to get to trial. We had state court judges that didn't care. We had to create another cause of action to get to federal court. Had one of the finest, Honorable Judge Joseph Campbell, one of the finest federal judges in America, that was not biased. He was not emotional, but he was completely focused on uncovering truth and applying the rules of law. And so in both the top 100 jury verdicts, we had $0 offers going into trial. And in both cases, we got an 8-figure compensatory and an 8-figure punitive damage award in contract cases. So, and you, Shaheen, I'm sharing with Shaheen and the other attorneys here, because I think you might appreciate that. Like, how often do you hear of an 8-figure punitive damage award in a $0 offer case, and then doing it back to back within 2 years of each other? So that is my fun fact for today, my friend.
And in a business dispute, that's huge. You'll see those in personal injury cases. California, you got guys like Brian Panish and all them cats out there, Gary Dordick and all them guys. So PI cases, you can see that, but in a business case, that's huge. That's
huge. And I love your energy. Like, I am like, we look for influence. Like, that's what we're on the hunt for in the world, for people that we do business with and create relationships with. And just hearing you, Bella, you hear that? Like, Gina, you hear that Shaheen's influence mastery being present?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, awesome. So Gina, thank you, Shaheen. And by the way, we got the sales sorceress who just said 100%. So Belverita started as a small tot on her front lawn at 8 years old. And she progressed through some interesting dynamics in her high school years to become a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing, to only move on from there to become the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada, to move on from that to become the creator, founder, leader of Align Sales, about to become Align Talent, recruiting and placing heart-centered unicorns to help businesses grow in their marketing, selling, leadership, and all the things. So Bella Verita, welcome to The Real Raw, my co-host. How are you today, and what is your fun fact?
I am fantastic, Sean. And I thought, since we got a former Dolphins player here, I thought a fun fact to share would be my father was a huge Dolphins fan because he grew up in Miami, and my mom was a huge Dallas Cowboy fan because we grew up in Texas. And so every Thanksgiving, there was always like a huge rivalry because the Cowboys and Dolphins always play on Thanksgiving. So there was always like a huge rivalry in my family. And my mom wanted to stick it to my dad so bad that my mom got a Dallas Cowboy tramp stamp. That is my fun fact for the day.
That is an unbelievable fun fact. Congratulations, Bella Verita, on all the things, and thank you for being here today. Gina, we love you. Fantastic job launching us, having a great day. And Gina, you've been rocking it all day today, so thank you.
Thank you. Buckle up, everyone. Have fun in the multiverse. Thanks, Sean.
Be well. Thank you.
Love you.
Bella Verita.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this thing. Who's going first?
Ooh. I think, our Dolphins player should get the opportunity to go first.
Do it too. He knew he was going first too.
I did. I did.
I have to say I might have sided with my mom and her choice of football teams over the years. So I can't say that there wasn't any bias in that choice.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. And I'm a Jet fan. And the brutality of like the last decades of my life, what the Dolphins have done to my Jets on my birthday in the AFC Championship game, Richard Todd at quarterback, Freeman McNeil at running back, Wesley Walker. We just beat the Raiders, like Cincinnati Bengals in the 2 prior playoff games, like 1983, ready to go to the Super Bowl. And we run into the Dolphins and A.J. Dewey. Richard Todd throws 5 interceptions. I cry through my entire birthday, want to skip my birthday, and the Jets don't go to the Super Bowl. So, yes, retribution and payback are in the house. Is that okay, my friend?
That's okay. That is okay.
Hold on. Quick question.
Yes.
Where are you from? Where were you born?
I was born in Jersey City, New Jersey, and then I migrated, did the sort of Hudson County to Bergen County migration and went to Emerson High School in Bergen County.
All right, because I grew up in Long Island, so it's not often that I hear people say they're Jets fans. So I was like, okay, let me just find out real quick. All right, here we go.
I used to be at Shea Stadium games with Mark Gastineau, Abdul Salam, and the Sack Exchange and the whole thing. And I'm still a Jet fan to today, getting my heart broken every season. So having some fun with it. But quick fun fact, I know we got to roll, but this is like crazy. So in my Jet fanness, I'm at homecoming a year after I graduated college with somebody who went to Delaware, University of Delaware. And we're at the game, and this crazy game is with Hofstra. I'm like not even paying attention to the game until it's like 28-28, 35-35, 42-42. Like, what the hell is going on? And there's some wide receiver for Hofstra that has scored 5 touchdowns in what's going to be his final college game. And I'm saying to everybody, like, are you guys like aware of what a memory this person's going to have? Obviously he goes to Hofstra. He's not going to the NFL, and he's not big, and he's a wide receiver. So like his career is going to be over. And that wide receiver was Wayne Corbett. That would eventually become obviously a Jet Hall of Famer. So saw him like in his last college game at Hofstra, and he was lighting up the entire field. So let us proceed. Bella Verita, are you ready?
I am ready.
Belle will be anybody that you want her to be. She will be a potential client. She'll be somebody you're trying to influence for charity, money raising, open a door from as in government or politics. Anybody you want her to be. Who would you like Bella Verita to be? She'll even be, in fact, she'll be a referee in an NFL game on a blown call.
No, she doesn't need to be that. We're past that now. But yeah, she could be a D2 athletic director. Let's go. Nice. Let's go with that.
All right, Bella Verita, you're Division II athletic director. Your job, your mission is to protect the sports teams of your university. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
Oh, did you want to tell them it's a 6-minute conversation and all those details?
Yes, 6-minute conversation to go from hello to yes. It could be just for a longer meeting. It doesn't have to be the ultimate yes. About halfway in between, there might be an interesting disruption about 3 minutes in because we'll break it into 2 rounds. So Bella, take us in.
Ring, ring.
Hello, Bella.
Yes, hello.
Gotta put the phone in my ear like I'm talking. But hello, Bella. My name is Shamil Gary. It's a pleasure talking to you. Do you have about 6 minutes to talk?
I do. Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Like I said, my name is Shamil Gary. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, born and raised. I went to Oklahoma State, played football there, and I went to the NFL, played 4 years. And you know what everyone says about the NFL. It stands for not for long. Yeah. And now I have a business called the Athlete Roundtable. It's a holistic development business based on closing the gap for college athletes, helping them develop off the field and ultimately becoming better leaders on the field. What do you guys do for your program for your student athletes?
I mean, we don't have, much in place right now. I'm interested to hear more, like, what do you think that this will actually do for our athletes?
Yeah, so I think it can be very beneficial for you guys in 3 different ways. And the first way, when I was at Oklahoma State, we had 5 speakers come throughout the year, and it was during training camp. And during training camp, I'm not too focused on what the speaker's talking about. So I forgot a lot of things that was very important. And what my program does is it's a continuous conversation throughout the entire year. And we touch on different topics. And so we have a group me. There's a text message between the players and myself where I send motivational messages. I send PDF documents, as well as I'm talking about that specific topic the entire week. And so we cover mindset, we cover branding, name, image, and likeness. That's something that's very important right now. The NCAA should be signing that within the next year. We talk about diversity and inclusion. And the bonus about this, I'm an outside resource. And I know you have someone on your staff that focuses on this, but they have 5 other roles. So now you guys can give the time and attention that is needed to your student athletes. So that is something that can be very beneficial to you guys. And it can help with, I can bring alumni in as well as corporate sponsors to help out with your university.
And what, and I'm going to have to take a call here in just a quick second, but I'm really interested in knowing, how did you get started in this, and why is this an important mission for you? So, I would definitely like to know more about that.
Excuse me, Athletic Director Bella, you got a quick call. It's the Director of Operations from the WWF, and he's very upset that you will not let him come in and talk to your wrestlers. So I don't know what he's talking about, but can you take the call?
Yes. Shamal, I will be right back. I got to go talk to this wrestling coach and show him how wrestling is done. So I'll be back. Okay,
sounds good.
And again, thank you. And I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly. It's Shamil, correct?
Yeah, Shamil.
Shamil.
Awesome.
I mispronounced.
Yeah, no, all good. So thank you, Shamil. How'd that feel for you, man? I love what you're doing in the world, by the way. So how'd that feel?
It was okay. It's role playing is always interesting, but and I thought it went well. Could have hit my points a little faster and touched on the benefits that it would have brought to the school in the beginning instead of it was towards the end. And
yeah,
so yeah.
You're open up, listening, creating a rapport, doing a great job. You have a second round coming up. Excellent work, my friend. Calvin, are you ready?
Yes, I just got thrown into the participant, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. So if you could run that by me real quick, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So you have done a lot of going from hello to yes in your life, I am presuming, because you've had a lot of business success, have you not?
Correct.
Yes. So all you're doing is demonstrating how one goes from hello to yes on any topic that you like to. Opening up a dealership, selling a vehicle, getting financing, any yes you want in the world, raising money for charity, raising money for investment, negotiating with a bank, any yes that you like, and Bella will be that person. Make sense?
I got it.
Yeah. So who would you like Bella to be?
She's a homeowner.
All right, Bella, you're a homeowner. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's go.
Hello, Captain. This is Bella.
Yeah, may I speak to Bella, please?
This is her.
Hey, Bella, how you doing? I was just calling you from the Home Help Solution. We see that you had some interest on selling your home, and we just wanted to get some preliminary information to see how we can help you.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that I've been contemplating for a minute.
Well, how long have you been in your home?
I've been in my home for 7 years now.
7 years. Okay. I'm with Florida Home Solutions, and we've been helping customers all over the country purchase their home. We have a very unique program where we're able to get tenants or purchase your home for cash. We also help you find a place. So we don't put you out of your home. We'll also transport you into another place. So we have a very unique program. We know there's a lot of things going on in the economy. So we really want to help you out as much as we can. We're not here to steal the home from you. We'll give you a cash offer. We're very, very quickly. We're very direct. We work with our attorneys, and we can close quickly if you need that. If you need a little bit more time to stay, we can also work that out for you. So I just want to ask you a couple quick questions. I'll be out about 2 minutes, and I'm out of here. So you said you live in 1407 Place Avenue. That's a very nice area, okay? Have you had your home appraised in the last few years? Do you know the value of the property?
Nope, I have no idea. The only thing I can guess on is, when I get on the Zillow app and see what my neighbors are doing.
Okay, that's very good. Well, I did some research before I got on the call for you, and it seems like the properties in your area are roughly running around $200,000 based on the area. And we're cash buyers. Obviously, we want to buy the houses at a little bit of a discount. What we do is we'll go in and fix the property up and make some adjustments, and then we put it back on the market for a fair number. So based on the information that you gave.
Is this a real deal? Is this isn't like some scam thing, right? Is it like buy my house for cash? Is that for real?
It's definitely a real deal. I can send you an email with all our credentials. We bought a lot of houses in your neighborhood. We just want to get you a fair offer that's good for us. If it's worth about $200,000, I can give you a cash offer today for about $150,000. And how we come up with that number is very simple. We just look at the value of the house. We look at the work that we need to put into the property, and then we have to put it back on the market. There's some cost involved in that. So we can give you a cash offer for $150,000 today, and we also can get you moved into another property. We offer free moving service to move you into a new property. How does that sound for you today?
Is it just a moving service, or do they pack the house too?
We can offer the packing service as long as we're going to get some fresh iced tea when we come over.
I'll give iced tea, and I'll give pizza, and I might even throw some Twizzlers in.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll send you the contract. It's a DocuSign. All you have to do is click a couple buttons, and we'll close in 7 to 10 business days. How does that sound to you?
Bill, I'm sorry, you can get back to this in a second. You got a whole bunch of, they said they're your woo friends from Austin, and they have like bags and suitcases. They said they're moving in and creating a commune out of your house, and they don't want you to sell anything. There's like 3 shaman, and I don't even know what's happening. So could you please talk to these people?
Oh my goodness. I'll be back, Calvin.
Calvin, Bell will be right back, okay? I think Calvin's good with that. Thank you.
That's fine.
Good job, Calvin. Bell will be right back. So Shamil, Calvin, awesome job. We're going to get some feedback now from our judges. Alex, 30 seconds of feedback, please. 15 seconds on what worked. 15 seconds on what could be optimized. Then please a score on a scale of 1 to 10.
And you're dark, Sean.
What's that?
Dark.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. P.S. Bella Verita will be actually the keeper, goddess, princess, warrior, heart-centered person of time integrity.
Time Nazi.
Or time Nazi. Take your choice. So, Alex, are you ready to give Shamil first some feedback?
Shamil? Yeah, for sure. I thought Shamil did a really good job giving his background and his reasonable relation to the athletic world with his podcast, and then he did a really good job with differentiating himself from competitors, and then also how he could add additional services with corporate sponsorships. And I thought he was very, very good in tacking points that he for his pitch. So I give him if 10's the highest, I'd say an 8. It was, kind of, I think he was rambling a little fast, maybe slow it down a little bit.
Nice. All right. Thank you.
Overall, I thought it was really good.
Awesome. And how about for Calvin?
For Calvin, I just say, I think a little bit, starting off to get to the point took a little bit, but Bella ended up, asking a really tough question, saying, is this a scam or whatever? And I thought Calvin did a really good job rebounding, and then ending with like kind of personal and witty iced tea comments. So,
and your score from
I'd say an 8 as well.
Nice. Excellent job, Alex. Thank you. Mark, what'd you have for Shamil, please?
Yeah, thank you. Shamil, I think, did a great job with kind of setting up like a warm type mentorship arrangement. And I think that was the best selling point, was that these student athletes are going to have some mentorship, which I think is the best selling point. So I gave him an 8 out of 10, and I think he did a really good job. Excellent.
And how about what did you have for Calvin, please?
Calvin, I scored as a 7 out of 10. He handled the objection well, although it's kind of a compliment too. It sounds like you've done cold calls for real estate before. And sometimes if you've done a lot of those calls, it can sound a little packaged, a little bit rehearsed. So I think it sounded a little bit that way, but I think you hit the great points of the service you offered. So I think it was good as well.
Awesome. Great feedback. Mark, Shaheen, what do you have, please, for Shamil?
So it kind of looks like all of our scores are kind of this, pretty much the same. So for Shamil, I also gave him an 8. For me, the most important thing is always adding value. And I think he did a really good job. One of the things that stuck out to me was, I know you have somebody that does this, but this will allow you to free up some time for somebody to do something else. And, that's kind of what I was looking for. Like, how can you make my life easier? And you did a really good job, not just offering services, but adding value. This is how we can make life better for you guys and better for your students. So I also gave you an 8. And for Calvin, I also gave him an 8. The one thing I would probably say is just slow down a little bit and allow a few more questions, right? Because, I kind of what Mark said, it sounded a little prepackaged, but not in a bad way. Just like, this is what I do. I'm really good at it. I don't have to be on the phone for half an hour, but sometimes you want to leave a little space for somebody to ask a question, so it doesn't feel like you're trying to jam them. Even though that might not be the case.
Outside shot clock. Good stuff.
Yeah, awesome. And yeah, so excellent work. Thank you for that, Shaheen. By the way, Alex, Mark, Shaheen, fantastic job in efficiency, deep feedback, awesome time integrity. Great job, guys. Thank you. Bella Verita, are you back and ready for round 2?
No, I'm going to take the rest of the afternoon off.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So Bella is back. The shaman is like smoking a peace pipe in Bella's living room. There's like cobras all over the house. Bedlam has broken out. She needs some help selling this house. Can you help her out, please, Calvin? Bella, take us in.
Hi, Calvin. Sorry for that disruption. My friends really don't want me to go.
No problem, Bella. No problem. I thank you for giving me the opportunity today to purchase your home. What is the most important thing to you of getting this home sold?
As weird as this may sound, I think the most important is that the home goes to someone good. This home's been very good to me, and so it's just important that like somebody else that loves it as much as I do moves in.
That's very nice. So I'll make sure to take a nice picture with the kids and everybody in the house, and I'll make sure and send it over to you. That's very important to us. Basically, most of the people we try to sell the home to is families. We do FHA financing. We have a lot of people that have low money down, and we get them approved into these nice homes. So that's very important to me. I said before, I would love to make this deal for you today. We would love to help you with our service. So at the price of $150, can I get your commitment now with the contract?
Well, I probably need to talk it over with my husband and see what he thinks first.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead. It looks like you wear the pants in the family, huh? Huh?
That may be true. That may be true.
You seem like a sassy little one. So let's make this happen today. Because look, a happy wife is a happy life.
That's what they say.
So let's get this contract signed. If your husband has any problems, we have a 7-day out on every contract. I'm just very, very busy. I don't mean to push the sale. I always want to just respect everybody's time. I'm very busy. I know you're very busy. I'll send you over the contract. We'll get it signed. You have a 7-day right of refusal on any contract. Would love to get this deal done. I'll get the movers to make coffee for you. We'll get everything boxed up, packaged, get you into a new property. We're just so excited to work with you as a homeowner. Thank you very much. I'll send that contract over.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Bella, the tarot card readers and the crystal ball forecasters are like really concerned and they want to talk to you about all this. And the cobra bit the shaman. So can you please help these people out?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. Calvin, very nice work, my friend. Excellent. A lot of fun. Great job. Shamil, Bella's back. She had this phone call as the athletic director with the WWE. I was corrected. It's not the WWF anymore. And she's like dealing with that. And she's like, oh my goodness, like what the heck is going on here? Everybody's trying to sell me stuff. So please help this woman out. Bella.
Hi, Shamil. I am back. Sorry for that interruption.
Oh, no worries. I understand how that goes. I have a 10-month-old that I had to deal with in the moment as well. So as I was saying, before, I would love to, as I was telling you about the athlete roundtable and the benefits that it could do, what I would love to do is, I know as an athletic director, the experience of your student athletes is important. The exposure that they get is important. And what I want to do is get your SAC together, which is your leaders of your sports programs together, because the student input is definitely important, because if they don't buy into it, then, what am I doing there? So what I would love to do is, what'd you say?
I said, yes, it's very important. Thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah, and so what I would love to do is I have student athletes that is already in the athlete roundtable. I would love to get them on the call with your student athletes, tell them about the experience, and share with them my background, and get a couple of your athletic directors on the call as well, so they can hear about the program. And would you like to set up another time to do that?
Yes, that sounds interesting to me.
Okay. Let's do that. What day is good for you?
Tomorrow works perfect.
Okay, great. I'll put that on my calendar, and I'll set up the Zoom call so you don't have to do anything, and we can move forward from there.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right,
Shamil, excellent job. Wonderful, both Calvin and Shamil. Bella, how did those rounds feel for you? Are you having fun today, Bella Verita?
I'm always having fun, but I'm having an exceptional amount of fun today, Sean.
Awesome. Love it. Okay. So Shamil, would you be interested in having even more fun today?
Yes, I'm all in. I'm all in for the fun. Skydiving type fun.
Woo! My kind of fun.
Yeah.
Bella Verita, who did you go skydiving with for the first time?
I went skydiving with the craziest person I know on the planet. I went skydiving with a blind dude. Who does that? Like, who jumps out of an airplane with a blind man? I don't know. But apparently I had lost my mind that day and jumped out of an airplane with Sean Gallagher.
Yes, that is very true. So skydiving is in play, but not today, maybe soon. So I don't think there's a hot seat. I don't think we ever get put on the spot, but some people do. So if you'd like to picture that as putting me on the spot or the hot seat, it's my turn now. So Shamil, you could take the option of setting up a scenario or pass it along to Calvin. For me to have to go from hello to yes. So I'm the person that's got to get the yes, and I will be anybody you want me to be. Like, I have to get any yes in the world. You get to make it up on the spot to demonstrate the power of what we're doing here. So would you like to set that scenario for me, the yes that I have to seek and get, or would you like to pass the scenario setting off to Calvin?
I mean, why not be Shamil Gary? So you're the founder of the Athlete Roundtable, and you have to get the director of the athletic director for USC to commit to a year long of the programming from the Athlete Roundtable. Bam, there we go.
So who is going to play the athletic director from USC? Would you like to play that athletic director, or you want somebody else to?
Let's go, Shaheen.
Ooh, I love it.
Hey, I'm not an athlete at all, so you call this upon yourself, brother.
All right, so you're the athletic director at USC, Shaheen, and I am going to be Shamil. Sound good?
Sounds good.
So, Mr. Shaheen, thank you so much for taking the call again. My name is Shamil. I'm a former NFL player, and I stepped into the space of creating some unique outcomes for athletes. Now, I really thank you. I know you have 3 minutes only for this phone call. And I'm also aware of the fact that you're the athletic director at USC. And I played Oklahoma State, and I get big time football. So people are hitting you guys in every direction continuously with stuff to talk about. So if this doesn't work for you in this 3-minute phone call, please hang up. Tell the world I have no idea what I'm talking about. But if there's something here, maybe we extend the conversation. Does it sound fair?
That sounds fair.
Awesome. All right. So your vision at USC, I'm guessing, Mr. Sheen, is that you want your athletes to be successful. Obviously, you want to win on the field. That's important. But you also don't want scandal. You don't want tragedy. And you want your athletes 20 years from now, all those that don't go to the NFL and those that do go to the NFL, MLB, NBA, and every other professional sports league and not at USC, because I understand that this is one of the great feeder systems into professional athletics. But so many more of your students, obviously, don't go into the pros, and you want them to have incredibly successful careers. Is that a fair statement?
This is true.
Yeah. And so what's your vision, though? So many different athletic directors I talk to from all over the country have different visions within that vision. So what keeps you going? What keeps you moving every day? And what's the impact you're looking to create at USC and in the world? Please.
So at USC, I want to create student athletes that are also servant leaders. I want my students to leave here feeling that they can do more than just, throw a pass. I want them to feel like that they can be leaders in whatever industry that they find themselves. So, however you can, potentially help my students get there, I'm all ears.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And may I ask you one more quick question?
You may.
In that mission, what's the greatest friction? What's the greatest challenge to actualizing that for athletes in the world today? I have a whole bunch of my own ideas. I just want to see what you're feeling at this point is the great challenge in actualizing that at an even higher level than you're doing right now.
The greatest challenge right now is getting a lot of my athletes to see just past the field. A lot of them have grown up to just be athletes. That's what, they were as kids. That's what their parents, kind of push them to do, whether it's AAU or, whatever kind of football league, they've just been athletes. So getting them to see past, the goal line is probably the greatest friction.
Yeah. And so, Mr. Shaheen, I know we only have about a minute to go, but I am present to the sincerity and the focus of that energy. Because I asked that question to a lot of people, and that's not the answer I get. And I certainly don't get that answer with the certainty and heart underneath that certainty you gave it. So thank you for that. Would it be okay if I shared just a little bit about myself?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So what I'm present to is the reality you spoke into. And that's that athletes have been privileged from birth. Most of the people who make it to USC, for sure, were genetically gifted. They've worked hard. They've done a lot of incredible things. But there was unique genetic gifts that these fine young men and young women have received. And so on the playgrounds, in high school, and all the way to USC and through, they stand out. They are so used to the world operating in and around them, maybe not perfectly, but for almost every one of them, they have been liked, they've had massive approval, they've been pursued, and they've been the center of attention. And you and I both know that's about to end. And whether it ends after they graduate from USC or it ends in a professional career that on average will last about 3 years, for that microscopic percentage that make it there, it's going to end. And when it does, that adjustment dynamic is of catastrophic consequences for many, of difficult consequences for most, and virtually every one of them will have some meaningful friction. And we can give all the motivational and inspirational speeches we want, but it's a conditioning shift that has to come in. Now, the unique background of the work that I do is I played in the NFL. I had a meaningful, but like most, a brief career. And I realized how the real world actually works. And that what people want in that real world is they want more money, more financial abundance. But then once they have it, they want some freedom and they want some magic and impact. And the work that we do, if there's any resonance at all, and I'd love to share in a 30-minute meeting and come in and present to you. But the work that I do, is to change that conditioning from somebody who has been there. I played big-time college football at Oklahoma State. USC and Oklahoma State are two big-time programs. I could speak into the listening of your athletes. And that listening is not only to open it, but to install a mindset that they know that the opposite of installing that mindset is going to lead to pain. And I'm uniquely talented at that. And I'm also uniquely positively inspirational. So I'd love to come in and share a little bit more about that. If there's any resonance at all, if there's not, I understand. I thank you for your time. So how does that resonate or not for you, Mr. Shaheen?
I'll have Brenda set up the meeting. You let us know your availability, and then she'll get that on the calendar, and we can set something up.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for that. So out of roll, Shamil, how'd we do?
And scene.
All right.
No, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. What I liked was you asked questions throughout the deal, and you asked like, what was his pain points? What was his vision? So you knew how to directly speak to what he wanted instead of what I wanted, or what you wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought it was really good.
Thank you for that. Shaheen, how did that feel for you as the USC athletic director?
It felt good. I felt like you sold the emotional connection versus selling the service. You said we'll set up a 30-minute meeting. We'll get to the service. But let's talk about us right now. Let's talk about the students right now. And if I'm the athletic director, that's what I want. Everybody, like you said, everybody's trying to sell me every day. And that creates a differentiation between you and the next Joe Schmo that calls me. And knowing that, if I can pick up that you have a heart for my students before, you even try to sell some service, I at least want to hear what you got to say.
Absolutely. And those top jury verdicts, thank you for that, Sheen. The key mechanism was the jury was clear that I cared about truth. And my client didn't tell the truth all the time. And in every moment that we had an opportunity to demonstrate that we would only stand for truth in the courtroom, we did every single time. And the other side, who was some of, mega trial lawyers, defense guys from around the country, in every moment they had the opportunity, they didn't play it straight with the jury. And that contrast became clear right away. And the jury just immediately said, good guys, bad guys. Mm-hmm. And that only compounded throughout the entire process. So thanks for seeing that, and awesome job. And how about, would you mind giving some feedback to Shamil and Calvin for their presentations, please?
Sure. For Calvin, I gave the second round a 7. And the only reason I gave it a 7 is, first to start, I like that you started with what's the most important thing to you, right? Kind of what Sean did, like that pain point. What do you care about the most? And, you kind of made the sale based around that. She wanted a house that she could sell to, a family that would love it. And then I don't want to say you played to it, but, you paid attention to it, right? If I'm going to sell it, I'm going to do what the seller wants. I'm going to do what I need to do to get them to agree to the deal.
And your score for him is?
I gave him a 7 on this one. And the only reason I gave it a 7 is it's one thing that you said that made me go, you went, I'm very busy, right? And, even though you're busy, we're all busy. You never want to make it about you, right? In that way anyway, because now it seems like, come on, I need to get off the phone. I got to make the next deal. Now it kind of feels like you're pushing to sell the deal, even though that's not the case. Just our words are real important, as we know, if we're trying to sell something. So just be careful with that one. But other than that, I think you did really well. For Shamil, I thought you were feeling the flow on this one. I think you kind of like, you knew what you wanted to do now. You kind of sat in it and you're like, all right, let's have this conversation. And I love that you started the conversation, again, connecting emotionally. She said, I'm sorry, I was distracted. You're like, I get it. I got babies too. We're on the same playing field. I get where you're coming from. And anytime you can make that, again, meaningful connection, however you do it, I think it works well. It inures to your benefit. And then getting to the student involvement, again, it shows that, one, that you need the student involvement. Shows that you're keenly aware of, exactly how these universities work. And it shows, even very briefly, your expertise, right? It's not just, I got services. It's, look, I know what they need. I know what you need. I know how to bring it all together. And just, again, even that little piece, that little within a couple minutes. I gave him a 9 on this one, on the second round.
Nice. Thanks, Shaheen. Awesome job, man. And how was your experience today on the Raw?
I like this. It gives me opportunity to do some active listening and some active participating. And just listening to everybody talk, it's also making me think about how I approach clients or talk to them at the same time.
Awesome. Well, excellent work, my friend, and love your vision and mission. Mark, please, what do you have for some feedback for Calvin?
Yeah, thank you. I think that Calvin seemed a lot more comfortable. I think that was you kind of settled in. It felt like, and I like that you asked for the largest important factor for them. I think we got to ask those kinds of questions and listen to the answer and kind of tailor make what we're going to say next. I think you did that well. You used humor. You felt like you were creating a better connection. So I gave you an 8 out of 10. And for Shamil to jump into his, I think it was good to mention the kid, and it's very relatable, right? I get it. Something happened. It's okay. And I think people need to hear that. I think they need to feel that they know you a little bit more. And you also got to the important selling points. I think maybe you didn't use quite all your time, but that's okay. You got to your yes, and I think it was really smooth. No,
awesome job. Thanks again, Mark, for being here today, for the depth and consistency and efficiency of your feedback. And how was your day on the Real Raw today?
I think it was great. I definitely, I'm attracted to these kinds of experiences. And I think, just hearing how different people would approach a different opportunity to connect is extremely valuable. So I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, Mark. Alex, please, what'd you have for Calvin?
I think just to piggyback off what Shaheen and Mark said, I think starting off with, what is important to you, just makes an immediate connection, especially when you're listening and responding to that. I had to agree with the, I'm too busy part. I think that's something I don't prefer to say. Maybe it was a little aggressive, but maybe that's just your sales pitch. I would have gave it a 7 as well. And maybe I'll offer to follow up within a week after you had time to review with a husband would have maybe just been an additional tidbit, but overall I thought it was very good. And awesome. Then
for
Shamil, I definitely, it's very similar to starting off. You very interested in the athletes, the people she's taking care of at her school, and you definitely developed kind of an emotional response. I thought it was very good. You had a very good connection, describing your services and then how you can provide motivation and experiences to the athletes. So overall, I thought it was very good, 9. And I really liked how you set up and the next call, and that you're gonna offer to do everything on that end. So I think that was very good.
Nice. Excellent work, Alex. Happy Thankful Thursday to you. And how was your day today on the Real Raw?
Today was really good. This kind of stuff is actually very new to me, and I'm definitely the least experienced person on here. So I feel like I learned a lot from you guys, just hearing pitches and stuff. So I had a great time. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Shamil, thank you so much for being here today. A lot of fun. And how was your day today?
It was good. I actually, I've done a couple of these in person. So this is my first one in virtual. So this was an interesting experience. And like I said, role playing. I have an improv coach. So it's always weird doing that with him. So this felt like improv with him. But no, I thought it was a really good experience, especially thank you for allowing me to pick your scenario, because I saw how you did it and gave me some different ideas on my next cold calls with different athletic directors. So it was overall a good experience, just from hearing from everyone, the judges and Bella and you. So thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. You did an awesome job. And Calvin, thank you for jumping in. Excellent work. How was your experience today?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I kind of wish I was a little bit more prepared, but I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It's always good to get into that zone, especially when you're working in the business realm. You always got to be thinking on the fly. You always got to make adjustments. So I really liked it. I enjoyed my time on the show.
Well, thank you, Calvin. Great job. Bella Verita, outstanding work, my friend. And what is your final for today? And by the way, how did I do as we're soliciting the USC athletic director, and what's present for you?
think you did all right.
Give him a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, you're only the guy that, you know, raises $700,000 in like 30 minutes and breaks records on Tony Robbins' stage, and that, you know, Tony Robbins says there's no one that, you know, leads with more heart and more integrity, but, you know, there's always room for improvement.
Thank you.
And I would say, you know, one of the things that I've been paying attention to that you do, that you did absolutely perfectly in that scenario, is speaking into the listening of others. I'd never heard that before I came into Unblinded, is speaking into the listening of others. And that is definitely where I get to learn and grow. And speaking of learning and growing, every Monday night at 7 p.m. on Clubhouse, we're unpacking like how to handle objections, how to unpack value. Because in the demonstration that we saw, it's about unpacking value and bringing value and speaking into the listening of others. And so we do that every Monday night at 7 p.m. on Clubhouse, and every morning at 9 a.m. on Clubhouse. So bottom line is, you'll want to join us on Clubhouse. And following this, you'll get a call from one of our strategists. If you're lucky enough, like Alex, you'll get a call from Bella Verita. But you want to take that call, because that's where we really like unpack the value and what the formula is and how it can work for you in your business. So back to you, Sean.
Thank you, guys. And thank you for being here today on Thankful Thursday. The extent to which that sounds like, oh, okay, that's what they're promoting. I know it could sound like that. And we are promoting things. But the reality is, with love and respect, we've done some things that are unparalleled. You know, my partner Adam Gugino took a company from $3.5 million to $750 million in 3.5 years. Inc. 500 magazine, 3 consecutive years. I had the unique privilege of the top jury verdicts that I explained, one of 2 attorneys at 1.2 million. But I think even more relevant is going from a 0 to 40 person law firm, selling it in 4 years, starting 6 months out of law school, and then going 0 to 100 person law firm in 2 years. Later on, I still own as a business owner and operator. And as Bella said, breaking sales records on stage for Tony Robbins in every setting imaginable. So with that said, you know, this is a science. And it's not just the science of influence. It's also science of how to get ourselves to use it to deal with our fears of rejection and failure, which are the omnipresent destroyers of our money, our time, and our magic. And how do you like merge ecosystems and scale and build and accelerate sales meetings? Because cold calling to create a sales meeting in a time, that is a very courageous and brave thing to do, but it's also incredibly energetically depleting. So how do we create and leverage so we have all sorts of different opportunities where we're speaking in with people, creating stages and microphones and all the things. So that's what we do unpack on that Monday night. A lot of people say they can do it. We can. We're really appreciative of you being here. And in fact, Bella Verita, seeing what you don't see about exponentially growing your money, time, and magic is what we do, because people are all blind.
And we're just learning to see.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you guys for being here.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.